So this is my opium lettuce review. Recently I tried wild lettuce, opium lettuce. I smoked it, and this is something that you can find outside. It's a herb, and it's a pretty decent herb. Yeah, it grows all over the Midwest, but you can buy it and smoke it or make it in tea. And in my opinion, this is one of the only Kratom alternatives because it's natural and it's not addictive. So I smoked wild lettuce, and it's on the same level as valerian root. You feel an effect, but you know it's gonna be a noticeable effect. It's gonna be just strong enough to give you a buzz. But basically, what this herb does is it you know, it feels like similar to opium. You know, it has the strength of valerian root, so it's noticeable. But I say it's a little bit above a placebo effect. What it does is it's a mild opiate feeling. Even though it's not actually an opiate, it's not addictive either, and it can't kill you in an overdose. But yeah, so anyway, I smoked it, and for about 30 minutes to an hour, I felt somewhat of like a Kratom buzz. And now let me tell you something. You can buy an extract version of opium lettuce. It looks like a black tar, like it's like a resiny extract. It almost looks like hash, but like black, all black. Or you can get in like the dark barbecue looking powder, barbecue rub powder. And I smoked that, and let me tell you, that's different. That's different from smoking the actual lettuce herbs. I smoked that, and I swear to God, it came on faster than I expected. I was expecting like a placebo kind of effect, but no, it literally felt like a stronger, more sedating version of a red strain of Kratom. My eyes were like closing. I was really tired. And for about 30 minutes to an hour, I felt this strong sensation of a blanket over me of happiness. It was a very powerful, I mean, I haven't smoked opium before, but I imagine it was very similar to the way opium feels. So yeah, that's my review for wild lettuce. It's a very strong pain reliever with an opiate buzz that is a very, very sedating, and it's not addictive, and yeah, the extract is very strong, very potent. But if you just get the regular herbal leaf stuff, it's not very strong, but it's still worth the $5 that it costs. But I would definitely recommend the extract version, because let me tell you, it was almost better than Kratom, honestly. The fact that you can smoke it or make it in tea and have to swallow herbs, you know, it's a very, very underrated thing. And I recommend anybody to try it, specifically the extract, because that's strong. And the best time to do it would be before you go to sleep, because this is a very sedating herb. So yeah, that's my wild lettuce, opium lettuce, herbal extract review. Life, like, it's not really about money, you know. Alright, so I'm making this video about Goodwill thrift store clothing. So a lot of people think, you know, in life, you know, to be happy with you know, like buying expensive clothes and you know, like, you know, just having a lot of money. And I'm making this video because, in my opinion, I feel like life is about the minimalist lifestyle. Like, all you need in life is some herbs, a little bit of money, a place to stay, and that's it. So anyway, I went to Goodwill. You know, I usually never go to Goodwill, but I decided I want a new shirt to wear, you know, because it's getting warm out, and, you know, I want some new clothes. And anyway, I bought this shirt at Goodwill, if you can see it. Yeah. So basically the point of this video is you can get a lot of cool stuff at Goodwill. Like, most of the stuff there is like pretty bad. There's a lot of, like, most of the, like, it's gonna be hard finding, you know, something cool, but I guarantee you, you can find one thing that's fucking awesome. So yeah, I mean, life, like, it's not really about money, you know. You just want some cool herbs, you know, and just, you know, just a little bit of money in your pocket, and that's all you need. So I'm making this video as a challenge. I challenged Menthol Kratom and Kratom Hippie and any of my subscribers, and make a video response or a comment in my video about the one thing you got at Goodwill that made you feel better about yourself. You know, one of the cool shirts, you know. And I challenge you guys, after you make your video, specifically Menthol and Kratom Hippie, to challenge somebody else. It can be a few people, it can be one person. But I want you to challenge somebody that's in the Kratom video YouTube thing. So yeah, just buy one dope ass piece of clothing, preferably a shirt or a sweatshirt, or maybe even pants, and I want you to challenge somebody else, because, you know, this video is a message that you know, it doesn't always got to be expensive. You know, you can find happiness and confidence with a low amount of money. You don't need a lot of money. So yeah, make that video and challenge somebody else. So yeah. Pretty pleasant. So I figured I'd make one more video. I usually don't make videos for a while, and then I go on like a video making spree. But this video is going to be about how Kratom helps through tragedy. Basically, this wintertime was a real rough time for me because I have major depression, and I also have seasonal depression. But I was in my apartment, and I had been laid off, so I wasn't making any money. About to lose the place, to the point where I was so depressed, like, I didn't even want to get out of bed, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, and it just felt impossible. So anyway, one thing I noticed about Kratom is that it helps, like, with motivation and depression. And what I mean by that is, when I would wake up when I had Kratom, I took it, and all of a sudden it's like a light bulb clicked. Like, I had energy, I went out, I filled out applications. You know, it didn't make my problems go away, but it made it manageable. And so yeah, and yeah, it's basically, it's, a lot of people talk about it for pain, but I noticed it was also good for depression. It's really like a natural healing herb, and good with pretty much anything along those lines. And so yeah, and So I guess since I'm making this video, I'll give Kava a review too. So anyway, I tried Kava, actually I feel like I already reviewed Kava, but anyway, so yeah, I ordered Kava, the vape juice version of Kava that you would put in like a vaporizer, and so yeah, I got it and I started vaping it, and basically what happened was I felt very relaxed. Everything kind of got like this light, faint, cloudy color, and everything kind of felt like floaty. And you know, it felt pretty pleasant. It was actually like more similar to marijuana than Kratom would be. But yeah, and then about a month or two ago, I went to the vitamin shop, or Shop, or however you call it, and they have these Kava capsules that are like liquid extract. They're more of the pricey ones, and I tried those, and those work good too. But one thing I noticed about Kava, it doesn't work all the time, so just be aware of that. But you know, if you use it twice a week, it should work pretty well. So yeah, that's a video about how Kratom helps with depression, and Kava helps with anxiety and stuff. Honestly, Kava, in my opinion, works better than Phenibut. This is because it's not addictive. And so yeah, I know I use Kratom to get off of alcohol. That's another good thing. Kratom can help with getting off of worse addictions. So yeah, kind of running out of material to work with here. Covered a lot of things, a lot of nootropics. So if any of you guys have any suggestions, please give it. I know a guy, he told me to do a video about ashwagandha and turmeric, and I did that. So if you guys have any questions or whatever, just let me know. I'll talk about it. I'm not an expert on everything, I mean, I won't lie, but I feel as far as Phenibut addiction goes, I feel like an expert. Phenibut is not good. Like, I just watched a video about a guy who was having tianeptine withdrawals, and man, that looks harsh. But Phenibut withdrawals wasn't easy either. So if anyone needs help, tips, advice, just drop a video suggestion and follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description. So yeah, thanks.
Still doing alright, man?
Yeah, do you got any Kava?
Kava?
Yeah, like the Kava root.
No, Kava root.
Alright, this morning. Trying to get faded.
No, we do not. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not going to find that at any more retailers.
Okay.
You might
Not
be
Kava?
Mm-mm.
Why?
I think they pulled it. I haven't seen it in probably like 6 months.
Hold it. You got any Kratom?
Sure, that's going to have to be an online thing for you.
Why's that?
Just because they pulled them. I don't know why. They don't say why. They just, when they pull things, they pull things.
Yeah. I know, I think the vitamin shop might have it.
But yeah, I mean, I know GNC doesn't anymore, but I mean, you could try there.
Okay.
What's on mine?
You know, like workout medicines that, you know, will, like, you know,
Do the effect of that?
like get high.
Nah, I mean, you can get a lot of caffeine out of them, that's about it.
I need something to get me high.
Nah.
Alright, thanks guys.
Yeah, you have a good one, man.
So, I'm making this video about menthol kratom. Kratom menthol, or however his name is. Basically, this video is about how he's a bully. I mean, dude comes on my channel, he bullies my viewers, and then it seems like he's almost just begging for subscribers, you know? See, this guy, you know, he's kind of on a high horse, you know? He has all these subscribers, and he doesn't like other channels coming up, you know? He doesn't want to see that, you know? He has like a intimidation problem. So he comes to channels like mine, and he just offends people, starts drama. You know how it goes. See, I commented on his videos, and most of it, you know, he'll reply, but he always says something rude, you know? Dude's like a spoiled kid. That, and I mean, if you watch his videos, he's always talking about like, you know, he says stuff like, yeah, I tried Phenibut and it saved my life, and this and that, and I use it every day. See, this dude used to have a benzo problem, and now he's using Phenibut every single day. Like, I don't know, just some people, you know, like, dude uses Kratom, Phenibut, complains about how his car got stolen, and see why. They probably saw drugs on the front seat. I don't know. It's almost as bad as the Phenibut God guy. But yeah, just putting that out there. So yeah, dude, scumbag drug user. Probably watch this too. Try to make one of those ownage videos, but this is an ownage video, and you know, it's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean, you can't win every time. Straight dick rider. So I'm making this video about tianeptine sodium, tianeptine sulfate. About how this is just an it's a deadly drug, guys. I mean, let me put it this way: a lot of people, you know, they use this to get off of opiates, kratom, whatever. But what a lot of people don't realize is that tianeptine is about as addictive as any opiate. I mean, I was reading on Reddit the other day about how a guy, he was a heroin user, and he would shoot heroin into his arm. Well, anyway, he found out about tianeptine as a cheaper means of doing his habit. Cheaper, safer to get, and less of a shady substance. So basically what this guy did was he went to the bathroom of his parents' house. He cooked up the shot, put it in his arm, and shot up the tianeptine sodium, and I think he did about 300 milligrams in his arm. And well, this was too much. It's actually outweighed his heroin dose. And all he remembers is he collapsed on his parents' bathroom floor, and if they weren't there, he would have died, because he just shot up tianeptine sodium and he overdosed on it just like any other opiate. So I mean, I just don't get why, like, a lot of people, you know, they see this as like a nootropic, which it isn't. And I mean, the real way you're supposed to use tianeptine is you take 25 milligrams of the sulfate a day, and that's supposed to help with depression. Or with the sodium, you take 12.5 3 times a day. If you take like those high doses of it, right? Like, I don't know, a lot of people will do like 150 milligrams 3 times a day. That's abusing it. I mean, it's not kratom. Like, that people are using it just to get a buzz, and then they're saying like, oh, it helps me so much. Like, I mean, it's just an excuse for getting high, like, or a mood lift as they call it. Like, yeah, if you use it, like you're supposed to use it for like its pharmacological reasons to help with depression. It wasn't made as like a opiate like kratom alternative. And in fact, I would hope that nobody would use tianeptine as a kratom alternative, because it's way more addictive than kratom is. There's another guy that started using it that I read on Reddit. He was using it, and he was using it a few times a day at high doses, and eventually one day he woke up out of bed with full-blown opiate withdrawals, because he would start withdrawing in his sleep from the sodium, and he ended up having to get off of it, getting a doctor's prescription of tramadol, and then tapered down from there. But yeah, and then there was another kid in the news that actually died because he used too much tianeptine and he overdosed on it. Because what happens when you overdose on tianeptine is it just becomes an opiate overdose. Your respiratory system shuts down. So I'm not saying tianeptine is that bad or anything. I mean, it is bad, but it's bad when you abuse it. When you use it for its actual reasons, you know, for depression, the 12.5 of the sodium 3 times a day, or the 25 milligrams to 50 milligrams in the morning of the sulfate, you know, that's fine, but, you know, just, it's not an alternative. I know another guy that was saying he wants to use kratom 5 days a week, and then 2 days a week he's going to use phenibut and tianeptine. But I don't know. You know, I used to like tianeptine. I used to be all for phenibut, but you know, I feel like most people, they get in this honeymoon phase, and it's just like, you know, they're like, oh, they're so great, this and that, and then after a while, you start to realize that, you know, these are just drugs that are sold as dietary supplements and aren't looked at by the FDA. So yeah, I mean, and phenibut's pretty dangerous too. I know my video about phenibut inspired a lot of people to make their own videos about it, because, I mean, if you look at it, none of these supplements are really that bad, but people blow them out of proportion. They use them too much. They use them at higher doses, and they make up this excuse like, oh, it helps me, the mood lift, it helps me so much. It's really, what they're saying to me is, I love getting high. I get high on tianeptine twice a week, and then use kratom to get high the 5 days. Like, it's not supposed to be that way. I mean, I won't lie. I use kratom for the mood lift, the euphoria too. It feels good, you know. Why do you think we shove down plant powder down our throats? Nobody does it just for, like, because it stops her. I mean, it does a lot of great things, but just what I'm saying is people like the mood lift. But yeah, tianeptine is a no-go unless you're using it for depression, and that'd be good to talk to your doctor about that too. But yeah, I'm just tired of seeing, you know, people saying that using 300 milligrams a day is helping them, because, I mean, what does that really say to you? But yeah. So I'm making this video about head shop kratom versus online kratom. Now, personally, I've had both of these, but living in a banned state, sometimes you gotta get head shop kratom by driving to your neighboring state. So yeah, living in a banned state, you know, it kind of sucks. You know, there's only a few vendors that'll send to me, but you know, a a lot of times I gotta drive down to Louisville just to get Kratom, which is about 2-hour drive, hour 45 minutes, 2-hour drive, but you know, it's worth it. You just buy in bulk. But anyway, so the difference between head shop Kratom and online Kratom is that head shop Kratom is usually going to be more expensive because it goes through a middleman, which is the vendor. So the Kratom comes from Indonesia, goes to the vendor, and then the head shop buys it, but they got to mark it up because they went through a middleman, and instead of just getting it straight from Indonesia, but they usually get it from a middleman. And so the difference is not really much other than price. But I know a lot of Kratom shops sell in bulk, which you could get 3 ounces for about $36, which isn't too bad. So yeah, and I personally use head shop Kratom. Honestly, I actually like it more than the online Kratom, but you can run into bad head shop Kratom. Now, the store I go to is Natural Mystic in Louisville, Kentucky, and they sell just like the online stores do. They got it in the brown silver bags, and it'll have the name of the strain on it. And you know, it looks professional, it looks good, it looks like just like it would on any website. And what I do now is I buy in bulk, so I'll get 3 grams for $36, which isn't too bad. It's about $12 for an ounce. You get 3 ounces for $36. Yeah, $12 an ounce, and you know, that's not too bad, but it does suck because some of the strains are $20 for an ounce, which is a little pricey for me. But you know, you go down there, you buy in bulk, you know, it's not too bad. But you know, buying online, you know, that's cool too. So yeah, it's just whatever your preference is. Personally, I do both, but you know, I also like the capsules they sell at the head shops too. But you can find bad head shops. Like the first head shop I went to, I got like an ounce cost like $20-something, and it was sold to look like incense. So it was in like these little screw-on Tupperware looking things, and it had like, and it didn't even have the strain names. Like one of the strains was called like Wu-Tang Kratom or whatever. And you know, it's just all about finding a good head shop. You know, I know in Chicago they got this place called CBD and Kratom, and over there, you know, you buy it and then they take it out of the jar and they weigh it and then they put it in a bag for you, and that looks pretty cool. But yeah, and CBD is illegal now too. I can't believe that. Like, I mean, I've smoked vape CBD, and honestly, like, I don't see how you could even make it illegal. Like, even if you're against people using marijuana, like, CBD doesn't even get you high. It like doesn't really do anything other than for medical value, like stopping seizures. But yeah, that's illegal. So yeah, that's my video about head shop Kratom versus online Kratom. You know, I figured out the other day that you can actually buy marijuana online in all 50 states. I personally haven't done it, and I wouldn't, but you know, I found out you can from websites that sell it medically in California. Isn't that crazy? That there's websites that sell it. It's not even on the deep web. You can use your credit card, and then it just sends discreetly, vacuum sealed, to like any state. And I mean, like, most of them are the websites they sell it medically or recreationally in legal states, but they also send it to all 50 states. It's crazy how they do that. But yeah, you guys have a great day. It's so I'm making this video about ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a plant that it helps your body, you know, like adjust to change a lot quicker. And I know in a lot of opiate withdrawal supplements to help with your cold turkey process, your detox from opiates, ashwagandha is in a lot of these supplements. And a lot of people use ashwagandha with coming off of kratom because it helps your body adjust to change. I personally haven't used ashwagandha, but I know a lot of people use it when coming off of kratom. So I can't really speak too much on it because I don't really know a whole lot about it. But, you know, I've never used it, but I'm sure to an extent, you know, it helps. It's not going to help completely stop the withdrawals, but it may make the process go a little faster. So that's my opinion on that. So yeah, I don't know. I'd try it with coming off of kratom, but the kratom withdrawals, in my opinion, aren't that bad. For me, it was, you know, my nose ran, and for the first day or two, I was just very depressed, and that was it. Which it doesn't feel good, and coming off of kratom, you know, it gets harder and harder every time you detox from it. But yeah, and other question I was asked was about turmeric. I've used this before with kratom from the Kratom Syndicate. What it is, it's like this orange leaf powder, kind of like kratom. And you take it kind of like kratom, but what it is a curry powder. And you don't have to get it offline. You can actually get it at Kroger or whatever. And because it's used for food, since it's a type of curry, which is an Indian food. So yeah, and basically what it does is it makes the kratom last longer, and it makes it stronger. Personally, I used it with Meng Da, and it made the Meng Da, I say Meng Da last me, the onset effects last about an hour or two. And when I took turmeric, it lasted about 3.5 hours longer, the onset effects. Or the peak effects or whatever. But, yeah, so those are my two questions. But, yeah, I could recommend turmeric, but in my opinion, you know, I don't really use that type of stuff. You know, I use kratom, I just use it alone. I don't use other things. But, you know, I know a lot of people are interested in that, and that's fine. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I could recommend that one, but, and ashwagandha, that's cool too. That I guess that'd help, but, you know, yeah, I guess those are my two questions. Spring now, so for any of you guys that have major depression or seasonal depression, should lighten up pretty soon because it's spring. I'm sick of the cold, but yeah, I guess that's my video about ashwagandha and turmeric. Yeah, not that interesting, really, but watch my other video I just made about tianeptine. That more interesting. So yeah, you guys have a great day. So I want to make this video about kratom withdrawals. Long story short, I've been taking kratom for about 3 months now. I went off kratom about a month in, and you know, I was one of those guys. I mean, I notice a lot with like the nootropics community. There's a lot of people that have that honeymoon phase in nootropics. Like with kratom, there's a lot of people that have that honeymoon phase, and what I mean by that is in the comment sections, online, on blogs, they'll say kratom, and the websites are really biased. Usually they're vendors that say this, but say kratom has no withdrawals. The withdrawals are similar to coffee. And I believe that. I was one of those people that were very defensive about it. Like on these websites, they're very defensive about kratom, and I get that. But thing is I was like that too. I went off kratom once, and I didn't really have any withdrawals, and I was like, see, there's no withdrawals to kratom. 3 months down the line, when I'm taking 18 grams, if not more a day, you know, 8 to 10 grams twice a day, I stopped for a day because I didn't have any. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but what I noticed was I was very groggy and irritable when I woke up. And then later on, it was probably like 70 to 74 degrees in my apartment, and I was freezing cold. I remember my girlfriend had a t-shirt on, and I was thinking, because at that time I thought it was actually cold in the apartment, but I looked at the thermostat and said it was 34 or 74 degrees. She's wearing a t-shirt, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. This is kind of like a flu-like symptom. And so, yeah. What else did I have? I also had, I kept having to move my feet. I forgot what they call that. It's called like the moving feet or whatever. I had to move my feet. I was very cold, very itchy. And that was just one day, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I drove down to Louisville, hour and a half away, just, you know, because I live close to Indianapolis, where I live in a bad state. So I had to drive all the way down to Louisville at 6 o'clock in the rain just to relieve my withdrawals. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it was because I was waiting on Kratom to come in my mailbox, and it was going to be there. And I thought it was going to be there a little earlier. It didn't, so I timed my Kratom to come. I timed my Kratom usage to run out when my package would arrive, and yeah, that was a day short. I needed to go get some Kratom. I was having the withdrawals. I needed to relieve my withdrawals, and yeah, next day my package came. It's okay, but you know, the withdrawals of Kratom are real. It's not a myth. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. You're not. The difference between with opiates and Kratom, the opioids, is when I was having those withdrawals from Kratom, they were very mild. They were very uncomfortable, but it wasn't excruciating like with Oxycontin withdrawals or Vicodin withdrawals. And the difference between that is with opiates, you know, you're craving it. You're like, I just need some pills. Just need that. With coming off of Kratom though, you don't feel that craving. That's another reason why it's pretty much still legal, is because, you know, if you crave it, you know, it's just a sign that it's bad. But I didn't crave it the entire time. It's hard to explain. Kind of like when you come off of antidepressants, you feel weird, you feel the withdrawals, but you don't have that craving for it. That's what sets it apart from the opiates. That's why it should be sold in stores. So yeah, opiate withdrawals are real. Imodium. This is a generic version of Imodium. I noticed a lot of people, menthol Kratom or Kratom menthol or whatever his name is. He recommended this, and also a Jewish guy did, for opiates withdrawals. And what you can do is, this is a medication you can get over the counter. It's called Imodium. This is the generic version of Imodium, but that's what the medication is. It's the active ingredient is whatever, something HCl, so yeah, you can get that to help you with your withdrawals, but you'd probably have to taper off that. But I mean, I'm not an expert here. I don't know about this, guys, because I feel like this would like clog you up. It's loperamide, HCl, 2 milligrams. I don't know. I mean, I noticed that I forgot what his name was, but that Jewish guy, he's like an Orthodox Jew. YouTube Imodium for opiate withdrawals. He looks like an Orthodox Jew. Like, I'm just using that as a description so you can see his videos. You know what I'm talking about. But he was talking. I saw the dude take 60. He said he takes 60 to 100 of these pills twice a day. Like, there's got to be some side effects with this, and even if you come off this or you get on this, you're still have to taper off this. I mean, I guess it causes your withdrawals, but I I don't know. I just don't know about it. But yeah. Making this video about tianeptine sulfate. So anyway, I got tianeptine sulfate off of the Nootropics Depot. I got the pills, which were 25 milligrams a pill. And yeah, first off the bat, when I got it, I heard that it was similar to Kratom. Kratom's banned in my state, so I couldn't get it. But I couldn't get it. So, I heard tianeptine was the next best thing. Everyone, when I started getting into Kratom, the ban was going around. That's what got me into it. It's because I saw the headlines. I got into Kratom after that, somewhere around the time I was in nootropics. But anyway, so I got into tianeptine. I ordered it off the Nootropics Depot. Got 25 milligram pills. And yeah, I took one of the 25 milligram pills, and I sat there. I kind of felt like a similar antidepressant feeling, but felt a little bit good. And I was like, all right, this is okay. So I took another one. I took 50 milligrams. And yeah, what I gotta say about that is it hit. It felt just like I took. It felt just like when you take 2 of those 5 milligram hydrocodone pills, or like 2 of those tramadol pills. No, like don't take those. I'm just, I don't use drugs anymore. The only thing I use now is Kratom. I don't even drink anymore. But I had a past where I've been around it, when I was 18, 19, 20. But that's how I know it's like that. So anyway, yeah, it just felt like I took 2 of the 5 milligram, like each 25 milligram pill felt like that, like a 5 milligram hydrocodone. It felt exactly like it, if not stronger. And so yeah, I felt it. And yeah, the only thing that sucks about it is the sulfate. It lasts about an hour for me, maybe an hour and a half, probably an hour. No, I'd say 30 minute high, euphoric effect, mood lift, whatever. The other 30 minutes residual effects, and then at the hour and a half, the last 30 minutes, just the residual effects fading away, going back to normal. So it only lasts about, let's just say 45 minutes. And that's the sulfate too. The sodium's even shorter, and it feels a lot stronger. But I'm sure, though, if you take a higher dosage of the tianeptine sulfate, it will last longer. You can probably get to that 2-hour mark. But yeah, it feels a lot stronger than Kratom, guys. It's a lot stronger. So tianeptine sulfate. Anyway, I ended up taking 25 milligrams every morning for 3 days. And what happened was, I started taking it, and just 25 at a low dose, you feel happier, you feel some motivation. And I was taking it, and then on the 3rd day, I decided I wasn't going to take it anymore, because it's just to me, it's too much of a habit-forming nootropic, because it doesn't last very long, and as soon as it wears off, you want it again. And it really is addictive. It's about as addictive as opiates. The withdrawals are very similar to opiates. Like when you come off of tianeptine from using it every day, it feels just like coming off of prescription painkillers. But yeah, so it's not something to use every day. If you control yourself, then yeah, go ahead and use it. It's fine. And then also, if you have any type of depression, you can use 25 milligrams, 25 to 50 milligrams in the morning, or just in the morning. Take 25 to 50 milligrams in the morning. That's not a very euphoric dose. I guess 50 milligrams it was for me, but 25, and maybe once you get a little bit of tolerance, take 50 milligrams in the morning. and that won't have the opioid-like effect, like similar to Kratom, but it will help relieve your depression, because that's what the pill was made for originally. It was made for depression, and it was made as an antidepressant, and then I think it's prescription in other countries, but here it's not. It hasn't been looked at by the FDA, and it's sold as a dietary supplement. So yeah, it was originally an antidepressant in other countries. It still is in other countries, but here it's not. And then if you have a tianeptine sodium, you can take 12.5 milligrams for depression 3 times a day. So you can take 25 to 50 milligrams of tianeptine sulfate in the morning, which will help your depression. That's the antidepressant effect for the tianeptine sulfate, because it lasts longer. Tianeptine sulfate lasts longer. Tianeptine sodium hits you a lot faster, doesn't last a very long time. So that you will take 12.5 milligrams 3 times a day. And and I also heard a lot of people who take antidepressants with it. Me, I would have liked to take it for the antidepressant effect, and then maybe take some 5-HTP with it. I think that would be a good stack, and maybe even L-theanine. But yeah, and then if you go 50 milligrams higher, depending on the person, you will get those opiate effects. Would not use that regularly though. The 12.5 of the tianeptine sodium and the 25 to 50 milligrams of the tianeptine sulfate in the morning, you know, you can do that, and you can do that every day. You can probably do that every day with it having very, very mild withdrawals. If you're taking it for the antidepressant effect, the low doses, you'll have very mild withdrawals. Probably not very many any withdrawals at all. But when you start taking it as the opiate effect, similar to Kratom, you're going to have very heavy withdrawals. Even on Kratom, you have withdrawals. A lot of people like to deny that. I used to deny it too. I used to think, yeah, I went off Kratom and I didn't have any withdrawals. But once you start getting, so every day for months, you're doing 9 milligrams or 9 grams twice a day. Like, I take about 18 grams a day. If I stop, I will get flu-like effects. It won't be the worst thing in the world. It won't be like opiates, but it's still going to be very uncomfortable. So, yeah. It's the tianeptine sulfate review, and it kind of turned into a tianeptine sodium review too. So, whatever. Try to make more videos. So, please subscribe, comment. I love reading them. And just let me know what you guys think. If you need me to correct anything, just comment. I'll put it in the description. Thanks. Alright guys, it's time to make this video. I just want to say today that Modafinil, it's a scam. So anyway, I got Modafinil. I went to the Modafinil Cat website, tried to order it, and they referred me to a Dafinil Express, and said, like, you know, it's the best. They do the same things the same way that Modafinil Cat does. You know, they're their successor. You know, so I ordered 20 pills of Mulder 200 milligrams from a Dafinil Express. Got it, and first I tried 100 milligrams. I broke the pill in half. Waited, I don't know, 15 minutes, or maybe a little longer, about an hour. Everything was cool, so I took the other half, and I gotta say, it just feels like a Dafinil. It lasts a little bit longer, and it's a lot less harsh on your liver. Or actually, I don't even think it's really bad on your liver at all. I know a Dafinil, it's bad for your liver because the process, when it breaks down in your liver, it turns to Modafinil. like the process affects your liver. So modafinil, you know, it doesn't have to break down, so you know you can take it every day. I mean, you're not supposed to because you don't get a tolerance to it. It won't work. But yeah, it's I took it, and honestly, guys, I really wasn't impressed with it. Everyone makes it seem like your mind is like open, clear-headed, and this and that. And I did feel that clear-headed thing, but so anyway, I took it, and really not much happened. I just felt awake. It wasn't really any different than a Modafinil either. Like with the Modafinil, took that, and then I just felt awake too. Maybe a little bit weaker, but yeah. So I don't know. I just felt awake, and that was it. Like if you take it, you'll feel like you do now, just not tired. So if you're not even tired, you're probably won't even really feel it. It's just pointless. It's like a more efficient version of caffeine, like without making it's just in your head, your brain. Like your heart doesn't race. You don't have any effects of like the negative effects of caffeine, but you got the awake feeling. And similar to modafinil, it's just you're awake but without side effects. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. It's just pointless. It's pretty much a scam, or I guess it's not really a scam, but just I don't know. People who make these reviews and stuff, they're just getting a placebo effect. There was no euphoria, which I know it's not for that, but some people say there is, and whatever. But I just don't see it. I took it before work, and it didn't help me at all. It was just, I was awake, and that was it. I mean that I kind of like that though, the fact that I was awake, because usually, I have to wake up so early for work. I'm always tired, but yeah, just awake. That's it. I mean, the guy Psych Substance, the YouTuber, he did a review between modafinil versus Vyvanse, 60 milligrams, 200 milligrams of modafinil versus 60 milligrams of Vyvanse. And I mean, Vyvanse beat it when he did the test. He did them side by side to see which one would win, and Vyvanse beat it. And he just said modafinil, also like what I think, it worked for its actual purpose. It didn't work for its off-counter, off-label sale. Like, it works for like what it's really for narcoleptics, and keep people awake or in shift work disorder, but it just didn't. I don't know. It's just you order it, and it comes in. It comes in like a square, but I ripped this one off. This is one. I mailed the other one to Kratom Hippie. I think it was anywhere from 14 to 17. I mailed her, but I know she will probably be reviewing these too. But it's just like this inside. It's just a little white pill, and you can break it in half. And so yeah, I mean, if you do actually have shift work disorder or narcolepsy or whatever, and for some reason you don't want to get a prescription, just order it from there, because I mean, it works for what it's made for, but it's just, I don't know. And anyway, it'd probably be better to get a prescription anyway, because then your insurance will cover it and it'll be cheaper. Because I think I can't remember, let's see. I think I paid close to anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks. I can't exactly remember. I think it was around $2 to $3 a pill, so it was already way overpriced. Yeah, it's just, I'm rambling, but just, I don't know. If you really want to try it, try a Modafinil, or Dafinil, whatever it's called, because I mean that is just basically just feels the same. I mean, it is the same thing. It gets breaking down your liver and it turns to modafinil. So just try that, and then you can see, because that's way cheaper. You can get it over the counter, online, in a bottle of the modafinil, and you can just take that. It feels just like modafinil. There's no point of even getting modafinil. It sucks. unless it's what it's actually for, is the narcolepsy. But just as a cognitive, fuck it, as an enhancer for you to perform better, it just, no, you don't. You could get a prescription of Vyvanse, but you'd probably just be better off just trying harder. So, yeah, it sucks.
All right, this concludes part 1 of the KAVAWORLD saga. This is to hold you all over until Mars gets back from his hiatus. Wish you all well. Thanks for stopping by. Keep your eyes out for part 2.